So we will resume with this point interlocking with ladder logic. So in the last lecture we have seen the points up to not logic gate with ladder logic. Okay, so now we are going to see interlocking with ladder logic. So this what is ladder diagram is for only one what you called as motor. Okay, so our example have two motors. For that particular purpose we are going to use two set of ladder diagrams. Okay, so in your PDF that I've given, the file is missing, of the figure is missing. So I've gone to the source of that figure and here is the figure. So in that, first this one is for motor number 1 and this logic diagram is for motor number 2. Okay, so you can see here, you can also draw if you want. Also it is in the video, you can take a screenshot of that, and after that I will correct this PDF and upload it again. Okay, so now you can see here, as you know, this diagram is full ladder logic diagram. So at least we need to implement the interlocking, and believe it or not, interlocking can also be seen as a logic. Okay, so in fact it is quite simple to implement. Okay, and if you think about it as a logic, because the only thing out is motors we need to interlock them is one extra condition. Okay, so that condition will be negated since we need the motor to be active when the other is. So for motor number 1 to be active, motor 2 needs to be active and vice versa. So I'll use this PDF. So these are the conditions. First one is start or motor 1. For motor 1 they have given 1, then start 1 or motor 1, and not stop 1 and not motor 2. Okay, so motor 1 will be active for this. Again for the another set it is same, motor will be also active. Since we have added one condition more in a logic and relationship with the other logic, we can implement it in ladder logic with a serial connection of a negated contact of this negated contact. So you can see the conditions here. Okay, start 1 or motor 1, this is for OR operation. This is for AND, which is AND. Okay, then not stop 1 and not motor 2. Okay, so motor 2 is not operated at that time, motor 1 will be operating. For second one, start 2 or motor 2 or operation, and then not, so and this is and then not stop 2. Okay, not stop 2 and again and not motor 1. Okay, so not motor 1 is not started in this. Okay, look, so this was a simple example. So this was a simple example on how you can build a simple ladder logic, okay, by using these conditions for OR, and not. Okay, so in this example the logic has been broken down into real logic. Okay, but these logic relationships cannot only be used normally open and normally closed instructions, so they can be used as with many different PLC instructions, even counter and timers. Okay, so now the whole point is that we will learn how to build some ladder logic. That is now your turn. Okay, so you can simulate different examples. Okay, you can change the conditions, you can build here. Okay, So now we are going to have some exercise that on ladder logic. Okay, exercise number 1 for interlocking. So function is start or stop of 3 motors. Okay, already we have seen start and stop of 2 motors. Okay, so in this example there are 3 motors, but only 2 motors can run simultaneously. So for example, if motor 2 and motor 3 is running, you cannot start your motor number 1. So these are the inputs. Okay, the function there. Okay, 4 columns in which function, hardware, PLC address and tag name. You can okay see, for example, I'll show you diagram. Function, okay, start motor means function, this is the function. Then hardware is nothing but this one, switches or displays. Then PLC address, okay, for PLC purpose. And then tag name, start 1, start 2, motor 1, motor 2, etc. Okay, so first function is start motor 1. We are using hardware for that is our push button, not normally open. PLC address is IO.0. Tag name is start1. Okay, so same as that of this start1, normally open. Okay, PLC address IO.0 and start1 is the tag name. Function is start motor number 1. Then start motor number 2, same momentary push button, normally open, but PLC address is different, tag name is different. Then start number 3 again different. Okay, then stop motor 1. For that you have to use push button which is normally closed. Okay, PLC address is IO.3. Then stop 1 is the tag name. Okay, similar for that of stop port 2, then stop motor 3. So the outputs will be okay, then output like this one. These are the outputs. Okay, these are the inputs, these are the outputs. So different outputs are function of one output is motor 1, then hardware is required is motor relay, output coil or motor relay. PLC address is Q0.0 and tag name is motor number 1. Similar motor number 2 for motor number 2 function, hardware is motor relay, PLC address is Q0.1, tag name is motor 2. Then for third function motor 3, hardware is motor relay. Okay, then PLC address is Q0.2 and tag name is motor number 3. Okay, this was very simple exercise. You can draw it, okay, by using this input and outputs. So now this exercise introduced another problem that will that have taken us to next ladder logic instruction. Okay, the problem is not so much the ladder logic itself, but rather comes from the button connected to the inputs. So we have to see the problem regarding the signal edges. Okay, so normally you would expect the operator to press the start and stop button only once and for a short time, but the operator can hold the buttons which are pressed for longer time, or the buttons can simply be stuck when pressed. Okay, it can also be stuck. This is a typical hardware problem that will affect our PLC program in a severe manner. So if the stop button for one of the motors somehow get stuck, you will not be able to start the motor if the stop button is stuck. In fact, there is a problem often encountered when you have monetary push buttons as inputs on the PLCs. Okay, but there is a solution for that problem. Uh, there are ladder logic instructions that can solve these problems. They are called as one shots. Okay, one shot for signal edges, that is used when the buttons are stuck. Okay, so first one is rising edge detection. So it's time for another logic ladder logic instruction. So we will get introduced with the first type of one shot instruction, which is rising edge detection, which is R trigger. Okay, R underscore trigger, or positive edge detection. So on some other platforms like Allen Bradley, this instruction is also known as one shot rising or just OSR instruction. Okay, so as the name imply, these ladder logic instructions are looking at the rising edge of a digital signal, okay, at the peak edge or the rising edge. This means that they will only look at the change in the digital signal from 0 to 1. Okay, so now we can see here, this is an example. So this is our digital signal. Okay, lower values is 0, upper values is 1. Okay, these are the rising edges, positive or rising edges. So the length of the signal is irrelevant because it is a digital signal. So we are only looking at the edge or the change in the state of the signal. So the signal is get transferred from this state into this state, as we can all see. Okay, and for this reason, these ladder logic instruction for detecting rising edges are perfect for the start and stop button. Okay, in the example we have seen for 2 or 3 motors. So first one is positive edge contact and coil. So you already learned about the normally open or examine closed instruction. Okay, that instruction is evaluating the state of a bit. You already know that. So if the state of the bit was 1 or true, then the result of the evaluation would be also 1 or true. So the positive edge sensing contact looks a lot like the examine if closed instruction. Okay, so in fact, if it has the same symbol except this one, okay, you can see the symbol, it has the same symbol as that of the normally open or examine if closed instruction, but the difference is only the this p1, this p, because it is positive edge contact. That is the reason why they have given p here. This is the positive transition sensing contact display. Okay, the functionality of this is also different than the normally open or examine if closed instruction. Okay, because this instruction is not evaluating the state of a bit, but rather the change in the state of a bit. Okay, it is not sensing the value of bit either 1 or 0, but the change in the state of a bit. So a positive change or a change from 0 to 1. Okay, so a positive change or change from 0 to 1, to be quite specific. Now since this instruction is only looking at a change in the state of a bit, this instruction will only evaluate to true for one scan time. Okay, because if the state of a bit is 0 and in the next scan time it is 1, then the instruction we will be evaluated to be true. So during the next scan time, the state of this bit will probably still be 1, and since there is no change in the state of the bit, the instruction will evaluate to 0 or to be false. Okay, so this is exactly the reason this instruction are called only one shots. They only evaluate to 1 or true in the same scan as state changes. Okay, so you can see the working here. So now I will show you a GIF image which can be used for the slow motion of this positive edge and contact coil. Okay, you can see here. First one is scan. It will scan the input. It will give the input to here. Okay, it will be 1. The input is given to this one. Okay, it will be 1. So no change in signal. Then it will learn the ladder diagram. Then input will given to this. Output will be 0. Then it will set the outputs as 0. Okay, given back to here, output is 0. Then again output is given back to here. Okay, it is 0. Lamp will off. This will open. Okay, then again it will scan the inputs. It will give the input over here, it will save the input, then it will give the output, then output is come back, then it will again scan. Okay, this is how it will work. Okay, so in this PDF it is not feasible to show you this GIF, so that's why I opened the web page for that. Okay, I thought you have understand for that. So as you can see here, this instruction only gives out a pulse in the scan. Okay, in the scan time where the positive transition happens. So at last you can also find the positive edge detection as a coil instead of the contact. You can see over here. Okay, so this has exact the same functionality except that it is a coil. Okay, so next one is falling edge detection. So these are the negative falls. Okay, you can see here. Falling edge detection. Okay, you can see here clearly. So just like the positive edge, you can also find instruction to detect a negative edge. These are naturally called negative edge detection or falling edge detection or F underscore trig. Okay, F underscore trig. So Alan Bradley calls it one shot falling or just OSF. Okay, one shot falling instruction. So common for all these instruction is that they are looking for the change in the state of the signal from 1 to 0. Okay, for earlier one it is from 0 to 1. For this falling edge detection it is from 1 to 0. So you can see here illustration. Okay, we are so this function or this block is going to check the detection of falling of the signal from 1 to 0. So falling edge detection is functionality that can be very useful. You can, for example, use them to detect when something turns off. Okay, you can see here negative edge and negative contact. So that's quite similar to that of, okay, you will find negative edge detection both as a contact and as a coil instruction as that of positive. Okay, rising instruction. Again, they are called one shot because they are only active in the same scan time as the transition from 1 to 0 happens. Okay, this is what negative transition sensing contact. Okay, similar to that of positive another transition sensing contact. Also, it will be depending upon where in your ladder logic you need to detect a negative edge. You can use either one of them. Okay, this is your coil. This is your contact. This is your coil. So a typical application for this instruction is when you need to start something when another thing stops. Okay, so it could be a heating element and two fans for the example. So when the heating element is running, one of the fan also need to be run with the heating element for the cooling purpose. But as soon as the heating element turns off, the second fan needs to run for faster cooling. Okay, you can use for that particular purpose. So first fan closes, it will detect the uh, falling which negative edge or negative fall edges, and it will turn on the second fan. Okay, so now this is your falling triggering function block. Okay, so we are going to see some example, which is ladder logic exercise number 2, rising edge. First one we have seen, first exercise is latching problem. Second, we are going to see rising edge example. Function is a start and a stop button is used for starting and stopping of a motor. Okay, but make sure that the buttons can only start and stop the motor on a positive or rising edge. Okay, just for positive or rising edge it will start and stop the motor. So simple function will be start button. Your hardware will be simple, normally open contact or examine if open contact. Okay, PLC address is default IO.0, tag name is start. Okay, these are the inputs. Second one is stop button. Okay, normally closed push button. PLC address and tag name is stop. Outputs are different. Okay, outputs are will be motor. The hardware are motor relay or coil, PLC address and motor name. Okay, this is for positive or rising edge. Okay, for falling edge there is a third exercise. Okay, function is a start and stop button turns on and off a heating element and a fan. This is the example, okay, by which you are going to understand the falling edge detection. So a start and stop button turns on and off a heating element and a fan. So when the heating element turns off, the second fan has to be started. So the second fan will turn off as soon as the heating element and the fan turns on. Okay, so this is the quite different parallel operation. So inputs are function, start button. Okay, you know that hardware is required for that is momentary push button, normally open. PLC address, you know, tag name is start. Same for stop button, hardware is normally open push button. Okay, PLC address is different, tag name is stop. The outputs are different. Okay, now output, for that there are three outputs. First one is heater, second one is fan number 1, third one is fan number 2. So function is heating, hardware is heating element relay. Okay, and PLC address is Q0.0, tag name is heating. Okay, then fan number 1, which is running simultaneously with the heating element. Okay, so fan motor relay, then Q0.1 PLC address, then tag name is fan 1. Next one is fan number 2. So for that, hardware is fan motor relay. This will start after the closing of this. Okay, then fan Q0.2, 0.2, and then fan number 2. Okay, so you can learn these three exercises and you can draw the ladder logic diagram. So this is about today's lecture. In the next lecture we are going to see our exercise number 4. The function will be implementation of the logic for a valve and a motor output. Okay, so till then take care and watch the video. If you have any doubts you can ask me or message me. Okay, take care, goodbye.